And the first one that we're going to talk about today is pride. If we're going to overcome pride, then the very first thing that we have to do is to understand the primary source of all my sins. Understand the primary source of all my sins. Well, where did this list of 7 deadly sins come from? Well, truly, it begins with the Bible. There are several lists of deadly sins in Scripture. Jesus mentions one list in Mark chapter 7. He says, "For from within, out of a person's heart, come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, lustful desires, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness." That's quite a list, isn't it? Where do these sins come from? Once again, if you're following along there in your message notes insert, underline "for from within," out of a person's heart. They come from within. I don't think Jesus was giving us an exhaustive list. I don't think his intention was to list all possible sins. He's just giving us some key examples. Paul has a number of these lists as you read his letters. One of those is in Galatians chapter 5. Now, we tend to be, those of us that read the Bible regularly and study it, we tend to be familiar with the fruit of the Spirit. If you've memorized very many scriptures at all, that's one that you've memorized. Right before the fruit of the Spirit, however, are the works of the flesh. Paul has a list of sins. All through history, human beings have been making lists, and across the ages, they've been making lists of both virtues and sins. But this list of 7 deadly sins, as we have it now, this came to us from Pope Gregory in the 6th century. He gave some real thought to this. As he thought about what God calls us to, he believed that the supreme objective is love. And so he began to think about these things that are offenses to love, things that cause us not to love one another. And so working on that, he looked at biblical texts like Mark 7 and Galatians 5. And in the end, he created what he believed to be a comprehensive list of sins that are the most offensive against love. He said that these 7 sins are the foundation of all other sins. And of all the sins on his list, he said the one that was the most offensive toward love is pride. So we have his top 7 list, and in his top 7 list, pride is number 1. Now, this list is in Scripture, but Christians have been thinking about it. That we've been actually using his list now for 1,500 years. It stood the test of time. Boy, what would it be like to have something you'd worked on to last for 1,500 years? That's pretty good. So here's one more thing about this list of sins. The unfortunate reality is that we've all committed all 7 of these sins at some point in our lives. Now, if we're just working on the 10 Commandments, I might ask you, if you kept all 10 of the 10 Commandments all your life, we'd have to admit that no, we've probably broken, all of us, at least one somewhere, maybe more. But hey, I haven't committed murder. I haven't done that one. But these 7 sins, we've all done them at one time or another. I mean, at some point in your life, you've been prideful.